Should authors read their own book reviews? I was recently featured in EB magazine, and I made 10 points about things that you should know before you write your first book if you're looking to get into publishing. And the 6th point was all about my stand on whether or not authors should be reading their own reviews. I adamantly say that no, you should not. And there's a couple of reasons for this, and you can disagree with these, but let me show you my logic. When it comes to reading your own book reviews, the number one issue I have with it is that it's written by readers for readers. Reviews are not meant to be for authors. They have nothing to do with the authors. They're not even a critique of the book. Now, some people write them that way because they have an overinflated sense of ego, but it is not what it's for. Reviews are to help other consumers decide if a book or an object or something that they purchased is going to be a good fit for their needs. So book reviews are meant specifically to help a reader decide if a book is going to be a yes or a no for them based on what they like. So they should be talking about genres, they should be talking about tropes, they should be talking about the different things that people are going to actively look for to either repel or to draw themselves toward a book. Reviews have nothing to do with authors. Now, the other thing is that these are written by unqualified people. Readers are not qualified to critique authors in the sense that they are readers. They're not in the trenches. They're not a part of this industry. They don't understand the grammar. They don't understand the marketing. They don't understand the industry. They don't understand the rules and regulations of what it is that we do. And as people who have been working in publishing for a really long time, I can say that you don't learn these things until you are in the trenches. This is very much like a doctor not taking advice or critique from us out in the world who are not doctors. If we don't have a medical background, if we are not trained in this, if we are not a part of this industry, we have no business telling a doctor how to do their jobs or how to diagnose a person with what's going on inside of their bodies. Likewise, readers don't have the right things that they need to know in order to then have conversations with us about how we can do things better. I always say the only critique we should be taking is from qualified sources who are in the industry. People who are doing what we are doing and have walked the path with us or before us. People who understand this industry. There's so many little nuances, so many rules and so many regulations that you learn once you get into the publishing world that you don't know from the outside. I, as a reader, worked heavily with the publishing industry. I worked with publishers and with authors for years before I became an author, and the things that I learned once I became published dramatically differed from what I learned even working hands-on with these companies, because you don't know until you're in the trenches. And so our reviews are not from qualified sources to speak in a critique capacity for authors to improve what we're doing. So if you do feel the need to find out what readers think about your books, and maybe you'll notice some trends in what they're saying so you can learn something, here's what I want you to do. Instead of reading your own reviews, find a qualified person that you trust. This can be a friend, it can be another author, someone who can go to your reviews and read them for you. This way, they can look for patterns, they can look for trends, because crowdsourced information is going to give you a better picture of what you should and should not be doing. So whereas one individual person is not going to be able to adequately critique you with professional knowledge, you will be able to kind of get some more valuable information if a lot of different sources are saying this. Bringing those mindsets together allows it to be a little more elevated than just individual critiques. So send your person over to your reviews, have them read through things, and then bring you valuable information that you can then process. This way, you're avoiding getting an overinflated sense of ego with the nice things people are writing and getting your feelings hurt with the not so nice things that people are writing. We're looking for trends and patterns and things that could potentially help you. So have an outsider, your friend, your other author person, go in and find the valuable pieces of critique and present it to you in a way that's going to be constructive criticism so that you can decide if it's something you need to implement into your books later on in the future. This is going to allow you access to what you want, but also make sure that it is qualified content that is being delivered to you and not just people raging or raving about your books. I do not recommend you read your reviews. I do not read my reviews. I don't need to know what other people think about my books. It is none of my business what other people think about my writing skills unless they're a qualified source who are actively helping me to get better because they're in the trenches with me and because they understand how this industry works. Now, you may have your own thoughts on this one. You may have your other path to take on this one, and that's totally fine because you as an author get to do what you want to do for your brand and business, but I highly recommend that this is not something most people should be doing because it's just not helpful and it's just not productive. Yes, we need reviews because reviews are supposed to help other readers decide if a book is going to be the right fit for them or not. And so we want to encourage these reviews, but going and reading them isn't going to help us whether they're nice or not so nice. If you've got questions on this, go ahead and drop those down below and hit that subscribe and notification bell for upcoming videos. We drop daily tips and tricks on how you can be leveling up in your writing and reading life to make sure you are making the most inside of your business and being profitable with how you are creating your online presence. I'll see you in the next episode.